Another story, following up on the detention of the former governor of the Central Bank of Nigeria, Godwin Emefiele, who has been remanded in Kuje Correctional Facility in Abuja till next year after he failed to meet his bail conditions on Tuesday. The former CBN boss was on November 18th arraigned on a 6-count charge bordering on procurement fraud. He was accused of using his position to confer a corrupt advantage on Sadatu Yaro, a staff of the CBN, by awarding a contract for the procurement of 43 vehicles worth 1.2 billion naira between 2018 and 2020. He was also alleged to have awarded Yaro a contract for the procurement of 2 Toyota Land Cruisers worth 138 million naira. Emefiele pled not guilty to the amended charge and was later granted bail in the sum of 300 million naira and is yet to meet the bail conditions. Rufai, obviously, this was yesterday. It appears that Emefiele is going to spend Christmas and New Year in detention. Let me take some reactions before I come to you. This is from Chuma, who wrote, "Life is really about ups and downs. 1 minute, Godwin Emefiele is seen as the most powerful man in Nigeria after the president, and the next moment, he's going to be treated like a common criminal. Tough to digest. All these are happening in the same year. But I hope we can all learn." Well, Chidi wrote, "I wish Nigerian politicians would learn from Emefiele. Today, he can't even get who would stand for him or bail him despite his affluence and influence under Buhari. This is more reason Nigerian leaders must tread with caution and understand that power is transient." Well, Temitope wrote, "Godwin Emefiele couldn't meet his bail condition of 300 million naira, not because he doesn't have the money or know any surety in the like sum. Emefiele is presently like an ant-infested firewood. Nobody wants to associate with him." These are a lot of comments emanating from this story.
So that's not all the analysis is false, and it's not a true analysis of the
That is the comments.
All the comments.
The tweets.
Yeah, all the tweets.
All of them.
All of them are false in their representation. We had one of the lawyers representing him come here on air. The judge granted bail. But we know the Nigerian state breaks its own laws. We all remember the case in the court here in Lagos, where Emefiele was granted bail, and the DSS rearrested him in the court and dragged him with the prison officials. The lawyer talked about certain pictures, and I've gone to verify, and I saw those pictures, that EFCC officials are stationed in front of Kuje prison, and there's a fear that they might rearrest him, breaking the law again at variance with the judge's ruling of granting him bail. So the lawyer was saying on air here that the best advice is Emefiele should not perfect the bail, because what's the essence of perfecting the bail and going out and then rearresting him again? In fact, there's a story making the rounds that the National Assembly is looking at also the case of, the rearrest after a court has granted a man bail. So, as it were, that situation of things as regards granting the bail is not, as reported that, you cannot meet the bail terms. And we have seen this happen well too many times, where the court grants somebody bail, but the security officers and the authorities feel more powerful than the court in Nigeria. So what kind of democracy are we even practicing, as far as I'm concerned? It's a clear form of dictatorship. If the security officers can't even respect the court, just like it happened in Lagos here. So when you're having pictures of EFCC of you already stationed in front of Kuje, then you have another scuffle or another show of shame. That's what's happening here. And we are not saying this only for Emefiele. We are saying it for all of us. The right of every Nigerian has to be respected.
Absolutely.
Because what it means tomorrow is that a court can grant anybody bail in a case, and the security officers can feel, "I'm not done with you yet," and rearrest you. That's the kind of country we have built. And it's not a democracy again.
Absolutely. All right, then. We'll take another story then. The Minister of Works, David Umahi, on Tuesday disclosed that the administration of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu inherited 6 trillion naira as debt on ongoing road projects from the previous administration. Well, in a statement from the Ministry of Works, Umahi revealed that Tinubu is concerned about the state of roads nationwide and as such has approved the sum of 300 billion naira for the Ministry of Works, comprising 100 billion naira for immediate palliative works, in 36 states and the Federal Capital Territory, and an additional 200 billion naira for the continuation of inherited ongoing projects. In addition, the president directed that works on the palliative projects must commence before December 1st, 2023. Dr. Bati, you did see those roads. I mean, it is refreshing to hear that that amount of money has been allocated to the roads at this point. But before you comment, I'd like to take my final story here. In the meantime, the governor of Anambra State, Professor Charles Chukwuma Soludo, visited the people of Olumbanasa in Anambra West last week with promises to bring development to their community, which has an untouched landscape. It was the first time any governor from the state will embark on such a visit to the community. But the governor and his entourage mounted motorcycles through bush paths to get to the community after a long boat ride.
Convoy in Olumbanasa. Governor's convoy in Olumbanasa. No. The first time a single governor is coming here. A village in Orumba, Nasa, Anambra West. You are welcome, sir.
Well, that's Soludo there. He received a resounding welcome from that community. Well, I hope the community well. Dr. Bati, really quickly.
Well, let me deal with the first story. Engineer Devumai,
yes,
Minister of Works. He's been one of those outspoken ministers in the Tinubu cabinet. And he says he inherited 6 trillion debt on ongoing projects across the country. And he mentioned some of those roads. Lagos West Road, Nsuka Enugu Expressway, Lagos Abeokuta Expressway, some of the bridges that have been done on the that have not been done on the Enugu Port Harcourt Road. So this is the point we always make, and it's the point with which we started this program this morning, that the Tinubu government wants to go and borrow 7 trillion that we're told was put in the 2022-2024 external borrowing plan by the Buhari administration. And that was passed by FEC on May 13. So they left more debt, expectation for this administration. The question is, why is there a gap between all these borrowings for these routes and development outcomes? What happened to that 6 trillion naira debt? Why are those roads, why have they been there?
That's the
that
question.
Lagos Abeokuta Expressway, the old road, it's been there since the days of Obasanjo's presidency. Nobody has worked on it. So Engineer Devumai now says they've been given 300 billion naira approved by President Tinubu to do palliative work. We heard about palliative work before. There was a time somebody said they were going to fix roads all over the country within 6 weeks. Nobody fixed anything. And money was assigned to that. So there must be an audit. Another thing that he pointed out is about people misrepresenting him when he says cement will be used. That is not true. Asphalt will still be used. Who is misrepresenting him? Okay? He says those who are misinforming people are the ones who don't mean well for this country. The people who don't mean well for this country are the people who have to account for our 6 trillion naira. Finally, he says variation on road contracts going forward will not be more than 5%. In fact, if it is possible, there should be no variation
at all.
What the government should insist upon is that if you have been given a project, finish it within the timeline. That will be important because variation, that's an opportunity to steal.
Corruption.
Finally, on the issue of Soludo riding Okada. Yes, it's good for privileged people to see what poor people also go through. But Governor Soludo should not get too carried away. Okada, sometimes you can break your leg and you end up in an orthopedic hospital. So, and that should show him the reason why he has to fix it. And then former governors of Anambra who claim they did much, I hope they too will go on that road and ride the Okada and probably have a broken arm in the process.
Dr. Abati and Prokunab. Well, I'd like to thank you both, as always, for your great analysis on what's trending. Well, that's all I have for you on what's trending today. I'll see you all tomorrow.